What's going on, people? So the next video, what is your why? I know I'm beginning to sound like a broken record. I get it. But this is super, super important. It really is. And I really do apologize. I'm saying that pretty much on every video. But this video, knowing your reason why, that's the driving force. That's what's going to help you keep going. That's what's going to help you set your goals. It's really important that we become clear on that reason why. And we all have one. And, most of them are going to be quite similar. Most of our reasons are going to be similar, whether it's becoming financially free or, time freedom. But a lot of us are going to be in different stages of our life. Some are going to be parents where the reason why is really going to sway heavily towards having kids. Okay. Some are going to be, single and young and traveling the world or want to travel the world. So maybe there's going to be a different reason why they're at a different stage of their life. Okay. So it's really important that we become clear, because that reason is the driving force. It's what's going to help us keep going, for one, okay, on bad days. There's going to be days, unfortunately, this is not going to be, I can't remember that Sylvester Stallone quote, but it's not going to be all rainbows and flowers or sunshine and flowers or whatever it is, sunshine and rainbows. It's a good quote, because it ain't. It really is not. You are going to get knocked down, okay? Unfortunately, no matter what you do, no matter how well prepared you are, no matter whose course you take and what training you do and how well you run your ads, you are going to get knocked down. Whether it be from a bad day's performance, whether it be because all your ad accounts got shut down, whether it be because some crazy hacker hacked into your Facebook account or profile and spent 97K in a day on your ad account, okay? And that's happened to me before. It's a story for another day, but it's happened, and it can happen. Now, obviously, in this course, we're going to show you the best ways to prevent those things from happening, but it doesn't mean they won't happen, okay? Again, that's going to be very dependent on how safe you're being and how many precautions you're taking, but also, there's going to be times that it's completely out of your control, okay? Your ad accounts are probably going to get shut down at some point. Your whole structure might get wiped out at some point. And on those days where you're like, why the fuck am I doing this? Or this is too much. Like, this is the 6th day in a row that I'm negative. This is not working. This is blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, right? Those negative days. The driving force, your reason why, is the driving force that's going to keep you going. That's going to help you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go at it again. And I feel like I'm, being a bit of a motivational preacher, which I'm definitely not. And I just, like, I'm listening to myself say that, and I'm cringing a little bit at myself. But this is really important. I can't tell you how important this is. It's so easy to get sidetracked and distracted. It really is. It's so easy to become, deflated and lose track of your reason why. Sorry if I'm knocking the microphone. Sorry if there's distortion there, but I'm punching the microphone. I could be a motivational speaker. But yeah, it's really, really important. Okay. So on the screen, I've listed out a few reasons. Everyone's at different stages, okay? There's going to be parents, there's going to be, single young people that are just looking to enjoy life, right? We're at different stages of life. It's important that you spend 5-10 minutes just trying to get clear on your reason why. What is it that's driving you to do this? Why do you need financial freedom, right? Is it for the kids? Is it for, what is it, okay? So again, I've listed out a few reasons. And again, these are all applicable to me, where I am in life and where I was in life when I wrote these down, when I was looking to start a family, settle down, get a mortgage, etc., right? And again, the beauty is, and again, we can touch on these, financial freedom was probably the first real reason that I understood that got me started looking for ways to make extra money. And it boiled down to having kids, okay? I didn't have kids at the time, but I wanted kids. And I wanted to be financially free to have kids, okay? I wanted that in place because I didn't want to have kids, and at the time was scraping by, barely able to support myself, let alone kids as well, right? So I wanted the financial freedom to be able to not have to worry about bills, mortgages, expenses, okay? And obviously I wanted the financial freedom to enjoy the nicer things in life and to go on adventures and to travel the world, etc., okay? Time freedom was huge for me as well, because I understood that I wanted a family, okay? And I understood that I wanted to be there for the kids. I had a job where I used to leave for work in the morning when it was dark. This is more in winter. And I got home when it was dark. So throughout the whole winter, I did not see my house in the daylight, which was depressing, okay? I also, when I first had my first child, I still had a job for the first 2 years of her life. I used to go to work and she was still in bed, and I used to get back and she'd just gone to bed. I used to work 14-hour shifts. So during that time, she was still in bed when I left, and then she was back in bed when I got back in the night. And that was so depressing. It was terrible. I never used to see my child, right? So it was just crap. Really, really crap. So that was a massive driving factor for me. Again, that driving force, it helped keep me focused. I spent 7 or 8 years trying to make money online before I actually quit my job, okay? Now, I know that could have been done faster, and I probably did things completely the wrong way. But what was important is I knew the reason why I was doing this. And, I don't have enough digits, fingers, toes, limbs, or numbers in my head to count the amount of times that I failed in those 7 or 8 years trying to make this work. I failed so many times at different ventures, at the same venture multiple times, right? But I managed to dust myself off and go at it again, okay? I knew that there was, light at the end of the tunnel, we should say. And I'm in a position now where if I had given up after the first, second, 10th, 100th time of failing, I would not be where I am now, okay? I would not be, in the position where I can go to Australia for 6 months and work down there, or go and, take the kids out of school and tour the world and explore the world, or buy properties or invest in different investments or any of those things, okay? I would not be able to do that. I'd still be grinding a job, working 14-hour shifts for the next 30 to 40 years, okay? Depressing, okay? So really get clear, understand the reason why you're doing this, the driving force, okay? Time freedom, I needed to spend more time with the kids. I wanted to be there for those special moments, taking the first steps, speaking their first words, okay? So important in my eyes, okay? Again, this is all personal preference, so it's going to be different. You might have different thoughts on that. You might have different reasons. So it's really important that you get clear on those reasons. Location freedom, okay? Traveling the world with a laptop. So for those that don't know, I lived in Portugal. We lived in Portugal. We're back in the UK now, but we decided to go and see and live somewhere else for a little bit after COVID and the lockdowns. We decided to up sticks and see what it was like living abroad. So we went to Portugal and we lived on the Algarve for over 12 months. And it was an awesome experience. It was a little bit isolated. Obviously, we have small children, so having the support network of grandparents is super important for us. But we wanted to try something different, and we did. I wouldn't have been able to do that working a job that I used to have, okay? So again, that location freedom. Again, like I said before, we can go and travel Thailand for 2 months. We can go, tour around Europe for 6 weeks. We can go and do these things because we have a location independent business, okay? We don't need to have a stable base. We can have a laptop and an internet connection. That's all we need. Obviously, being stable, having a good setup is going to be more beneficial. You'll be more productive, but it's not the end of the world. Once you've got your team set up, a laptop is fine to check in on Slack, check in on some of the, task management softwares you have. That's all good, okay? Help to give back to family, friends, community, okay? This is another important one. I know this is really important for some people as well. Maybe they want to buy a house for their mum or dad, okay? Or siblings, right? Maybe they want to help put your nephews, nieces through college and school, okay? There's all these things that you have close to you. Maybe you want to support your community. Maybe you just want to give to charity. Maybe you want to help build schools in the Philippines, okay? Having that money is going to help be able to achieve those type of things, okay? So again, I know for instance, again, I'm going off topic a little bit, but again, I'm going to cover it because I think it's important. My mum's very much like a, you know, she doesn't need much money to get by. Okay, I know a lot of old school parents are like that. She can't comprehend the numbers that I make, and you know, she didn't even know the half of it, but she can't comprehend those numbers, and she sort of says that, you know, there's no way any person needs that type of money. But on the flip side is, you know, you could give that money away, right? If you had that money, you could give it all to charity, right? You could give it all to, you know, the homeless people. Now, I obviously don't do that. I don't give it all away, but you could, right? So, you know, that argument really irritates me and irks me where people, you know, sort of, and that's my own mother, right? Where they, you know, sort of like, oh, you don't need all that money. What are you going to do with all that money? Da, da, da. Well, I'm going to build generational wealth for one, and, you know, you're not on the list for getting a house. I'm only joking, but, all right. So yeah, but anyway, right. Again, different reasons. I'm just trying to share with you different reasons that, you know, are important to me to help you dig down and find your reason. Okay. And generational wealth. This is the biggest one for me, to make sure my kids are set, their kids are set, their kids are set, and for generations forward that we are set, and we don't have to, or they don't have to worry about some of the things in life that maybe I had to worry about, right? Again, I know there's that, well, silver spoon, and, you know, it's important for them to worry or like have struggles to be able to learn and develop. I agree. 100% agree. I'm not saying that they're going to have the silver spoon in the mouth, right? But if, you know, they default on the mortgage or whatever, there is going to be a way out, okay? Now, I think it's very important that kids learn how to work and how to graft and how to, you know, put hours in and develop skills. Definitely not just get what they're given or what they want. Sorry, get what they want all the time. So super important. But yeah, anyway, I know this video has gone on a little bit. I didn't want it to be too long-winded, but I think it's super, super important. So I really advise that you spend a little bit of time really getting clear on those reasons why, that driving force. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.